I think it is very honor and I'm very lucky to you all give me the opportunity to give a topic a brief lecture on today's topic, which is riddles in writing to winning grants. So why we have this topic is because especially in this pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic situation now, it is hard and difficult for us to grab research grants. So we hope that by we come up with this seminar and also this topic to help, at least can help some of the researcher or academician, especially for the new researcher, to write a good proposal. What is the tips? What is the appropriate or suitable hints to write a good proposal, especially for the research grant proposal, right? So let's go to my slides. Before I start my content, just let me to introduce briefly about myself. But actually, just now Dr. Mayakanan already introduced, give a very good introduction of me. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm very lucky to have obtained for the last few years, I have obtained the research grants total about 900,000 ringgit Malaysia. Of course, this is not only I'm using my name to apply it as a PI, principal investigate, but of course include with the collaboration with other team. So it is impossible to you to just write you using your own name to apply it. But be smart, you can collaborate with others, right? To grab the opportunity to do a project, a big project, or even a small project, you also can use or discuss with other teams. Okay, using their names or to apply some of the grant proposal. So I have filled public paper to which is related to the research, more to the research article, more than 15 articles for these few years. Of course, after you obtain the research grant, you need to come out some of the research article. You have the expected outcome, you have the outcome data, so then you translate it and then write a good paper, publish it so that your outcome can contribute back to the society in this world. Okay, I always say to my students, you get some things from the funder, you have to contribute back to the society. So I have the guided and supervised 13 students, including the undergraduate and the postgraduate students. So of course, students need to know how to write the grant proposal also, because there are some of the grants only special applied for the postgraduate student, but not for us researcher or academician. So my research focus, my research focus is mechanical construction and biology. I understand that you're all from most of you is from the marine biotechnology, which is quite different from my field. So, but actually my research focus also related to biotechnology, but in different fields. Stem cell, I'm using the application of the stem cell in tissue engineering, and also regenerative medicine, which is more to the orthopedic surgery scope. Right, but in my topic later, in my content later, I will talk about in general area, not only on the specific on the orthopedic or the stem cells, right? Since you are from the different background. So I will skip this academic management because just now I cannot already said about it. I just want to let you know I also member of committee for Field Scientific Board and also guest editor for for the Journal of Stem Cell International for continuous 3 years. Because all the background is related, the track record related to your the criteria when you apply the grant. Right, I will explain it in my lecture later. In my slides later. So first of all, what is proposal? What is grant? Okay, there's a lot of grants in this world. There's a lot of grants in this world, but you have to see which aspect or which area we are talking today. So of course, today's is focused on the research grant, which is scientific research grant, and how to write a scientific research grant proposal. Right, in order to get the money, and then you can start over your research. So that's why we come up with this topic. The objective of this today's lecture is, I hope that after this lecture, you all can at least learn how to choose a suitable research grant, particular to fit it in your research aim, your research area in your research school. So, and also there's some of the information I will cover, especially for the funding opportunity in Malaysia, because I'm from Malaysia. So I hope that you all from the country, like most of you is from India. So I particularly introduce you the opportunity, funding opportunity in Malaysia, so that you not only apply the grant in your own country, but you also notice that there are some of the funding opportunity in other country, especially particularly in the Malaysia, and then you can go to seek the operator in Malaysia and then discuss with them. Together apply the fundings in Malaysia. There's a lot of the experience that we are collaborate with the academician and also researcher in India also. We have successful get the research funding in Malaysia, and then we start to collaborate and publish a lot of papers. Right. So I also in this I also introduce some of the funding opportunity in overseas such as in Europe also. Right. So from this we are introduce the basic blocks of writing and impactful research proposal. Say how to write an impactful research proposal and how to make your proposal engaging and appealing to the funders. Remember, funders is important, playing the important role in the funding opportunity. So how to get the attention of the funder, right? So also I will hope that lastly from this lecture you can gain some insight into the way the decision makers assess and how they evaluate the research proposal. This is important also because how good of your proposal is closely related to how they evaluate the evaluator or the funder how to evaluate your proposals. So first of all, before we go to the steps on how to know that the process to write a proposal. So what is research grant? As I mentioned in the earlier just now, there's a lot of the grants in this world, right? So, but some of them is about a business grant, some of them is from the a commercial grant or others. So today's we only focus on the scientific research grant. So research grant, as I mentioned in this slide, is a financial aid, right? Financial, which is the funders to give you money to give usually is give the institution or recognized organization, like university or a team of researchers to study a particular area to the subject. Means that when you write a proposal, that one is it suitable to your scope or not, study scope or not. All right. So also, you have to know that we all of us, when you apply the research grant, it is very important to understand the goals of the funding bodies and their grant programs. Okay, I will talk more about details about this later. So decisions are made on the applicant's ability to fit the proposed research activity to the interest of the funding body. Remember, this is what we call research grant. You have to understand what is research grant first, right? So of course, you need to read their criteria. You, as I just now say, you grab the things from one thing from them. You have to give back one thing to them also, all right? So what is the purpose to write a grant proposal? Of course, you need to get request the grant, the money from a funder. You need to write a good proposal, a grant proposal. Okay, what is grant proposal? What is the purpose of that? And what is the content that you have to write in the proposal? Okay, the purpose let us to go to know, understand first what is purpose of the grant proposal. So firstly, you need to show a worthwhile research project, right? So you need to show the funders or the evaluator or assessor that, oh, my project, my proposal is worthwhile, is worth for you to give me the money to do the research, right? In the proposal, you need to discuss all the relevant aspects of the research process. What is research process? I will talk about that later, right? So there also, what is the purpose of the grant proposal, including to demonstrate the competence to complete. You want to show them that you have the ability of the competence to complete the research also, not only grab the money, right? So, but you also have the ability and the competency to complete it. And remember, the proposal that you write is good. What is the purpose? The main purpose is you want to submit and then get the approval from the funder to support you to start the project. And then we from which as a supervisor or applicants, you other evidence. So there's a panel, there's a lot of panels when they express your proposal. First is as a supervisor aspect, how to guess how your research proposal or research outcome can contribute as a for a postgraduate, undergraduate or postgraduate student to write and translate to a thesis. Okay? This is important for institute, research institute or university. So as a grant aspect, including the internal, provincial, and federal. So as a grant, so how they think about this, and as a funder, especially for example, in the industrial partner. So the funder, such as industry, there's some of the industry partners that will give you money also, right? So remember, all this is a stepping stone to you as a new opportunity. Think about this, stepping stone to new opportunity to start your research. And then especially this is important for a researcher, new researcher, and also the new academician to start your good pathway, a career pathway, right? So grant current funding opportunity. I understand that especially in the COVID-19 pandemic situation now, it is not easy to get a grant proposal. So writing a good research grant proposal is not easy also. You think that you are good enough to write the content, but always when the outcome, if you get the outcome or the results of the funders or the grant results always will disappoint you. Why did my proposal is good enough to get the money? So why? I will give you the hints from aspect for the evaluator. Okay. So but remember, research budget are shrinking everywhere. Okay, especially in a very bad economic now. So a researcher are always being forced to seek not only internal but try to get external funding. Okay, that's why I think that's one of the reasons why your institute invite me, because as an external opportunity to get an external opportunity or collaboration from other country, right? So as a comic here, I always say to my students and also my team, okay, remember you have to think positively. You always want to get apply the grant, then you think that you are asking some gift from the Santa Claus, right? So here, there's some available research funding in Malaysia. I wanted to, because I'm from Malaysia, so I just let you know that there's at least you'll notice that there are some of the available or available grant from Malaysia that you can apply also. Okay. Firstly is MOH NIH research grant, which is from our Ministry National Institute of Health. So they always every year will give the grant, research grant, right, to all of us. Some of the grants maybe you cannot apply because you are foreigner. But what you can do, you can just find a collaborator or some of the team that which is suits your research group, and then start to discuss with them. Okay, we are always have welcome the foreigner or some of the overseas collaborator, because actually the collaborator team, when you applied for the research funding, is one of the important component when the evaluator or assessor to give the marks, right? So they will see about the team member also. Is it only the national, or you involve the international collaborator? Okay, this is important also. Also, this is huge, but on the MOH and NIH research grant is more focused on the health scope, health studies. I understand that you are from the marine biotechnology, but I believe that some of your marine biotechnology application can apply it on the health also. Right. So secondly is the Malaysia Tourist Science Foundation. it's more the scientific and the technology progress. If your research is about the scientific and technology, yes, you can apply for Malaysia Tourist Science Foundation. What I mean is maybe you, as I mentioned, I will always emphasize that because you are foreigner, you are not Malaysian, so you may know the content of each funding here and grab the opportunity to get a collaborator in Malaysia, right? So thirdly, is a Malaysia Biotechnology Corporation. So this is very suit your scope because you're from the biotechnology background also, right? Although it's from the marine, right? But this biotechnology area is very broad. Okay, so if as long as your technology, your studies is involved biotechnology area, then you are eligible to apply this Malaysia Biotechnology Corporation. Corporation. So next is the NIOSH, but this is more to the occupational safety and health. And how about the fifth? Ministry of Higher Education Malaysia. This is very good KPT from this KPT always every year, sometimes once a year, sometimes twice a year, right? To give the opportunity to the researcher and also clinician to apply this. And the University Malaya is one of the top university that always get to get the money from the KPT, the grants from the KPT. It is including the FRGS, ERGS, LRGS, TRGS, PRGS. Each of them have a different criteria. So I won't say it so details here. So if you're interested, you can go and Google, okay, and then see is it the technology, the criteria is it suit your studies or not, right? Then you can go to the website of the MOSTI. MOSTI, if your study is about science, technology, and also innovation, maybe like, let's say you found some of the algae that is in novelty and can get on innovation to apply some of the scope, okay, then you can apply this MOSTI grant. Okay? So MIDA, you can also develop for the Development Authority. And the number 8 is the MAGNA and the Cancer Council. I'm not sure the cancer grant is suitable for you or not, but maybe your studies like using algae or some of the marine technology scope to apply on a cancer patient. It is you, if yes, then you can apply this grant also. So, and also MSc Research Development Grant. And lastly, that one is for the internal Malaysia one, is Royal Malaysia. But this is particular on Malaysia only. I believe that in India also, there's a for women in science Royal India, if not mistaken, right? So this is it's a very good opportunity, especially for the young scientists, young women scientists, ladies. So if not mistaken, is under 45 years old. Last time is 40 years old. Now, if not mistaken, they increased to 45 years old is the limit age. So if you are younger than 45 years old, please go and apply this. But this is only for lady, all right? So India lady can go and apply for the L'Oreal India also, right? So for international, for the others like MOH, NIH research grant from the other country, Euro country. So if your study scope is from the involved in the chemistry, physics, like computer science, engineering, right? So biotechnology. So as long as it's related to the life science, you are eligible to go to apply this because this is involved in other countries also, not only for their country. Okay. The second one I always introduce to the researcher is the Newton list. Okay, this, if you grab this Newton list, this is very good for you to start your career internationally because this is collaborate with the UK and Europe also, right? So Newton list is open to the basics research funding opportunity. So, and the last is the NSF, National Science Foundation. Okay, again, this is related to all the grant here I've choose is related to the life science and the engineering and also the health school. Okay, this is some of the brief funding opportunity in Malaysia and other countries. So if you're interested, go and just Google and search about that information. So before beginning to prepare a grant proposal, Always, this is very important, mentality, okay? Tell yourself about this. Believe that someone want to give you the money, right? If you think that, oh, no lah, I cannot, I'm able to give lah, and so I don't want to try. No, please don't do like that. Just think that someone can give you the money. Just you need to put this effort for yourself, okay? Consider the long-term goals for your institute. Not only think about yourself, think about your team, think about your institute, how you contribute to the institute and the society. Right? So identify your strength. What is your weakness and your strength? So if your strength is about your, if let's say, for example, your strength is you cannot come up with a good idea, but you are very good in writing, okay? Because you are good in English or, okay, you're good in writing. So you cannot come out, but you cannot come up with a good idea. Try to collaborate with other team, form a team together. Okay, 5 different people that in the different strength. He is good, people A, okay, people A is good in writing. B is good in come up with idea. C is good in very good track record. He or she has a lot of the publication. Okay, grab him or her to the team also. All right, okay. D is good in communication. He has a strong collaborators overseas all around. Grab him or her to the team also. Form the team, right? Before you write a grant proposal. Why I say like that? Because this is team track record is important to the assessor to give you the good high marks also. Right? So after you form a team, identify each people's strength and weakness, and then start to create a comprehensive plan. Well, what is that? Okay. So this is a research funding process. Generate idea first, of course, or come up with an idea first. Okay. After you have the idea, okay, start to find the funding. Which funding is suitable for this idea, this research area? Don't find the funders that or the grant that is not suitable in your scope. Okay, of course, definitely you cannot get the grant, right? So be smart also, right? So then we'll look after that, find 6 few fundings opportunities. Okay, grant A, B, C, D. Okay, these 4 fundings that each very suit for us. So which fundings, which opportunity, which grant that we want to apply first? Okay, after discussion, you found that we let us to apply for the grant A first. Okay, so you come up with the developed proposal. Okay, developed a good proposal, and after that, agree by all the team members already, submit the proposal. Manage after you, okay, very good. You are very lucky. Okay, you are good enough to get the money. Okay, they will approve your application and give you the money. Then you have to manage the grant. Manage the grant wisely and conduct the research, right? And then come up with the outcome and publish it, translate it into the publication article, research article. So this is the very typical research funding process. So what should be included in your grant proposal? When you write a grant proposal. So this is very general. It's almost same like the one that you write in your postgraduate proposal, but it's slightly different because this is a grant proposal. Right, so first, you'll need a cover letter, which is maybe include the title page, right? The PI, principal investigator names, your contact information, okay? And also your collaborator, your team's all the details. Okay, so after that, you need to write an abstract or we call summary of the proposal. Nowadays, there's a lot of the grant that don't give directly a very long detailed literature review or what. This is not a paper or your thesis. Just give a summary of proposal. It require like 300 or 400, some of the grant proposal, okay? So for 300 or 500 words of the summary. Give a summary first, okay, and then goes into more details in the section of introduction. Your introduction have to include the problem statement, okay? You just a few paragraphs or 1 or 2 paragraphs about introduction of your proposal. Remember, have to include the problem statement, okay? Your objective, okay, your research aim or objective, okay, your hypothesis, right? So some of the, when we assess the grant proposal, they will come up with some of the comments saying that why you not include your problem statement. You have to tell the people, okay, already have the people done this, all right? What haven't done yet? What is the problem? What is the problem that in this now that you want in make you to want to do this proposal, this project? Okay, you need to state the problem statement. Okay, come up with the hypothesis. What is your hypothesis of your proposal, of your research? And what is your clear, concise objective in order to get the fulfill your hypothesis and come up with the outcome? What is your expected outcome also, right? So in introduction, remember, you have to include, has to include problem statement, objective or we call aims, and hypothesis. Right? So after that, you can give a relevant literature review. This is some of the people, researcher, when the applicant, they always include the literature review that's not relevant. Okay, so this is proposal. And they are limit. You have to remember that panels are human. So they will be tired also. Somehow there's a lot of applicants to apply to submit their proposal. So what you can grab their attention very concisely is write the relevant literature. Don't write a very long story which is not relevant. This is not a thesis, right? So write a relevant literature review in your subject area. So, and also include the overview of your proposed method. Okay, after you propose a very good related methods, but of course you have to include what is expected outcome. Some of the applicants, yes, they propose a very clear, very good method, systematic, all right, but they didn't include expected outcome. So some of the panels they will feel confused after you do all these things. So what you can show us. Okay, we want to know what you can show. If I give you the money, what you after you do all these experiments, so what is the expected outcome that we can see, can get the contribution from your side. Okay, so at last you don't, but remember to also include the budget and time frame. This is very important. You ask the money from the people. Of course, you need to give the very reasonable budget. Okay, don't overestimate or underestimate also. I will talk about this more clear in later slide. Okay, a time frame for conducting a research. So research or prospective funding body, why is that? Of course, remember to target the funding source that interests in your organization and the program. So make contact. Remember this now, just now I say here is find the funding. Okay, find the funding. So while you find the funding, remember gather the information. What is the information? Details of the grants available. Okay, after that you narrow down A, B, C from the 10 fundings, then you narrow down to 5 and narrow down to 2. Okay, which one is the best? Okay, so not best. I should say which one is more suitable for your research school. So how to apply for them? Okay, you have to know that how to apply through email, fill in the form in hard copy, or how? Okay, apply online. Okay, so member and also the committee. Who are the members of the committees? Sometimes this is a trick. Okay, so you can go and check who are the member and committee for the funding organization and what is their background, so that you can include some of the ideas in your proposals also. So remember how to get the reviewer's attention, or we call the assessor. Okay, how? So as I say just now, there's a lot of people, applicants to submit to them. Then they need to go many stage to filter it. So which one is successful to grab their attention? So how? So firstly, you have to seek the information of grant application. When is the deadline for the submission? Okay. If let's say you write, okay, tomorrow is or 2 days later is the deadline. Of course, you're not enough time to write the paper, to write the proposal. If you enough, you have to rush to write the proposal, which is you cannot come up with a good idea. So make the clear information first. When is the deadline? Okay, you have to come up with a good proposal. You have give you a buffer time. Okay, so enough time before you submit the proposal. So how long will the process take? Of course, you need to know about this. Why? Some of the people, they will think that, okay, I want to use the proposal A to apply the grant A. Okay, then I have to wait. Okay, I thought that is I expect 2 months I will get the result. But why after 9 months already I haven't get the result yet? So if let's say you have the limit, the time limitation, or some of the reason that about your duration, then you need to plan for this carefully. Because if let's say in the 2 months you give yourself, in 2 months there's no result for the grant A, I will use the proposal to apply for the grant B. Okay, so this is one of your planned decision also. Okay, planned of component. So the third, you need to know what is the proper way to approach the grant. SSO panel. How many people apply each year and what's the percentage to get the grants? Okay, as I say, some of the grants is very huge that a lot of applicants will apply. Sorry? Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry, no, sorry. Sorry, it's okay. I thought that if somebody want to ask me the question. Okay, so like, no worry. Okay, no worry. Okay. So let us to continue. So you have to know that the grant, how many people to apply each year, and what is the percentage to get the grants. Okay, so you have to know that about this. Why this is important. Let me to explain to you. So let's say there's a grant, and let's say grant A. Okay, grant A. There's a grant A give the percentage is like more than 50%, or let's say 70% of the applicants can get the grants. Of course, you need to try, right? This is maybe you are one of them, right? The percentage is higher. Okay, the opportunity is higher to let you. The chances is higher to let you to apply to get the grants. All right. So the grant B, only less than 10% of the people to get the grant B. All right. So if you want to try, you can try grant B. But from the grant B and grant A and grant B, which one you want to try first? For me, I will try grant A first because there's a higher chances for me to get the grant. Okay. I will try to grant A first. And then, of course, I will try the grant B also. I don't want to miss the chance. All right. I will grab all the opportunity that related to me, especially in this very hard time now. All right. So by your priority, if I will advise you to go to the grant A. All right. So this is related to why you want to know about the percentage to get the grant. So what are the current trends now? All right. Of course, for example, you are from biotechnology, right? Okay, so last time the trend is about the PCR. Okay, I believe that all use the technique, the PCR for the gene expression. But now this is a very old trend already. Okay, last 20 years or last 30 years, people 20 years already, people always want to use the PCR. But nowadays, maybe they not. They want to new strains about knocking out or knocking down of the gene or gene silencing, all these things, for example. So you try to use these new ideas or innovation or new technology to apply in your scope also. Okay, so this is one of the important component when you write a grant proposal. People, the assessors, the panels want to know, so what is the new technology that you can use? Okay, don't always use back the 20 years or 30 years technology. Of course, you can some of the parameter or some of the experiment you can use that old technology, but try to involve the latest or the new technology. That's why you need the money to apply. You need the money to start your project because this new technology is expensive, right? So, what are the current limitation and the restriction? So, what are the subject areas that award the funding recently? Okay, usually, let's say for example, one of the time last time, I think last few years, there's a very hot topic about stem cells, for example, from the stem cells area or stem cells, right? So after that, and then one of the sometimes also from the cancer area. So nowadays, you can combine these two areas together, cancer, stem cells, and what is related of it. Okay, you can use the cancer stem cells to treat the patient also. Okay, you can combine these two subject area and apply the grant, come up with the idea. Okay, of course, you need to have some reasonable methods and problem statement of that. Okay, what are the future plans for the founder also? What are their future plans? Is it the grant, what is the object of the grant, as I just mentioned? What is their future plan? Is it later on they need your outcome, okay, to have a prototype or the commercialized application technology later, okay? Or just want to get your, this is, for example, like PRJs in our Malaysia, prototype grant, research grant. So they, or some of the funder, what is their future? Okay, funder B, or their future plan is want to produce a lot of the postgraduate student. Okay, so in your expected outcome, you need to include this also, so they can grab their attention. So if let's say this funder A, their opportunity, their future plan is want to produce a lot of the postgrad student. How many percent of the PhD or how many percent of the master? Okay, of course, the expected outcome you need to include this. After I obtain this grant successful, I can produce how many PhD student, how many master student. Okay, you give a promise to them with the reasonable, statement. All right. So you have to know that who are the decision maker, or we call assessors. As I say, background of the assessors is important also. Okay, you know that the panels there, most of their background is about what can I say, orthopedic surgeon. Let's say their background is surgeon. So what they expect? They expect that your proposal is come up with the outcome that can apply for that to the patient, right? So this is their expected outcome. So how to approach the proposal? Your proposal will be read by one or two experts, even more than that. But remember, some of the panel is not expert in your field, okay? So let's say you are from the marine biotechnology, okay? I'm from the other background, but also is related to biotechnology. I can be your panel also, all right? Because it's a biotechnology field, but I'm not expert in marine. Or let's say your project is about how the ship design, okay? Your marine ship design, all right? But I'm not in your expertise, in your field. So that's why you need to write in your proposal, you need to think about this also. Must write for their benefit too. Okay? For example, I give for another examples, like examples for like you're from the marine, okay, you are good in the marine biology algae, right? So you create the algae, okay, research to treat the patient. For example, you extract the algae component into the health application. Then it's related to me. Can you grab my attention if I am your panel? Okay, I'm not expert in your algae field, but once talk about you using the algae or some herbs or marine herbs plant to apply it on the cancer patient. Okay, so it's grabbed my attention. So you have to write out the benefit for each aspect also. So ask a lot of people to help you improve your proposal. Remember, you can't do good things by your own sometimes. You need a friend or a team to help you. All right. So this is important. Why you have so many good good relationship with your colleagues and also your friends. All right. So first page 8 as a standalone summary. As I say, summary also very important. Why? First of all, the assessor need to see your title. Is it suitable or not? Grab the attention. The first one, they see the title or the study area, is it suitable? Yes, they will tick and they give the mark. Okay, goes to another round. Okay, your summary, because they won't read all your whole proposal. Believe me, they won't. A lot of panels is like that because they want to um, fast, to make it fast. Okay, how to get the attention is your summary first. After your title, your scope area is suitable or not. Okay, the next they will see is the summary. If your summary or we call abstract can grab their attention, okay, they will go to another component, which is the literature review, your method, your expected outcome. Okay, go stage by stage. That's why I say summary is very important. Try to write an impact summary, okay, for your entire proposal. So I will divide it to two categories, which is one is a primary category, or we call major criteria, and then the other one is secondary criteria. The first, what they want to know is they will consider this first, the good idea of your work. Is it your idea is it good or not, suitable or not, reasonable or not? Okay, is it novelty? Right? Explain clearly. You have to explain clearly what work has been done, or what work haven't been done. Why you want to do this? What is the gap? Okay, gap research gap. Okay, evidence that proposals known about the relevant work. They also have to see that the applicants or the proposal of the team of the applicants, is it really know about this work or not? Or just copy and paste from somewhere else? Okay, they will know, right? They will know, okay, from the way your track record. That's why they also include your track record. So let's say, why I say this is important to include the good team member or relevant member is because the panel also see the good record, get the track record, relevant to your research. Of course, like for example, you are doing the marine, the biotechnology scope area. Okay, all your proposal is about the marine or algae or whatever the plant. Okay, the marine plant or even the design sheet. Okay, sheet design or sheet engineering, the oil or gas or whatever. Suddenly, you involve the people which is on the orthopedic surgeon. So the panel will say, hey, why you suddenly, what is the relevance between these two? These people, this surgeon and the other team. Okay, what he can contribute to your research. Okay, you have to make the smart why you involve the people, not just simply to pull the people. Oh, you are my friend. Let's come to join my proposal team. Oh, you also my friend. I will let you to join my team also. No, if you do like that, yes, you can get a lot of people involved your research proposal, but the panel will think that this is just a very bad proposal because you just grab the people that are not relevant to your project. Okay, so good track record also involve what? The research that you can publish the paper. Okay, what you have conducted, what research you have conducted, is it relevant or not? And also what publication, that how many publication, is a lot of publication or one or two publication. But this is very subjective. Why? This depends on the objective of the grant also. As I say, there's a lot of grant. You have to know that what is their purpose. Some of the grant, they only offer to the new researcher. If let's say, of course, the new researcher, their track record is not so good compared with the professor level, especially for the person like doctors level only, okay, just graduated, become a research fellow or a new lecturer. Compared with the professor, of course, professor, they have a lot of the publication list. Okay, you cannot compare. So try to see what is the criteria for the grant. Some of the grant, they only offer to the new researcher. Then you have the very high chances to get it. You don't go and go and apply for the very high criteria or expectation that you need. Statistics tell that only suitable for the people or the applicants that have to above how many publications. Then of course you're not competent to compete with them. What I can advise you that if you really want to apply that grant, go and search some of the professor which can fulfill the criteria, discuss with the professor, all right? And then, okay, professor, why not we apply this grant? Okay, So I can use your name to apply this grant. This is one of the tricks that I always used. Okay. Some of the professor or some of the clinician, they won't have the intention or interested on to apply grant, especially for assignment from the clinical department, orthopedic surgery. As a scientist, I'm a scientist. I'm not a clinician. So some of the clinicians, they won't think about. For them, research is not a priority. So they will think, okay, I want to do the surgery. So, but from the researcher side, for the scientist aspect, I need the grant. So you need to communicate with the people, all right? The surrounding people, have a good relationship, just now I mentioned, all right? So talk to them, discuss with them how you all can form a team and then apply it, okay? Apply for the grant. So implication for the policy and practice, how will this be taken up? What is the objective of the grant, outcome of the grant, okay? And also as I mentioned, a well-formulated program statement. All these components is their major criteria when they assess your proposal. So what is the secondary criteria? So if let's say as an applicant, you have an existing funding, it's good, but it's not compulsory. All right. So again, I emphasize here, it depends on the grant criteria also. All right. So if let's say you have a track record that before that I have already have successfully applied a lot of grant, okay, they might consider about this. Oh, that means that you always can produce a good outcome. So they will give you a higher mark. Okay, they will additional marks for you. So priority is given to the, as I just now say. Secondly, some of the grant is priority to the new researcher. If you are new researcher or new academician, just apply for that particular grant. Okay, so evidence of the industrial interest in the proposal, and is the potential of the future exploitation. Why I say this is some of the grant they need industrial partners. Okay, if let's say I will show you the form later at the end of my slide. Okay, so some of the grant they need you to write down what is the industrial partner. If let's say you say, oh, okay, after this is the algae that I extract the algae, okay, and then I use the algae component to treat some of the diseases. All right. So after that, I can make it to commercialize. Of course, if you want to commercialize, you need some of the industry partner. So involve them. Okay. This is one of the good idea to involve the industry partner into your proposal, so that they give the higher chances to you to grab the grants. Right. So this is the common shortcomings. Some of the research question is not clear. If this is important, because one of the marks that we give is research question. If your research question is not clear, okay, no way. Okay? So proposal is badly presented, which is like not interested, just a very simply to write. Of course, that one is out, right? The proposal seems to be attempting too much. I know that you want some of the applicants wants the money, but some of the applicants really too ambitious, right? They requested too much of money. Let's say the grant maximum give you is 500,000. 500,000, for example, in Malaysia is 500,000 ringgit Malaysia. But applicant can request to double of it, 1 million. So of course, when as a panel assessor looking your budget, proposed budget, they know that you are not a good proposer, okay, not a good team to make the decision, right? So the proposal is too expensive. Of course, if let's say the grant, the research that you need 3 million to finish the research, this is too expensive already. This is not reasonable. Okay, so this is out also. Okay, and also the time. If let's say the proposal, usually the proposal will give you 1 year, 2 years, or most is some of them 3 years, or most is 5 years. So you don't say, I need 20 years to finish the project. Of course, people won't approve your grant proposal. Okay. So, and also you have to state to them that your proposed project, people already you mentioned in your literature review or purpose statement that a lot of people already done. Okay, we'll see some of the applicants say like that already. That they propose this project, this method is because a lot of the people, a lot of the previous researcher, they have failed to produce something. So now we want to try. We want to try with our method, but you have to state that why previous people failed. But how you confident saying that your method is the good enough to produce outcome? Okay, you need to give the statement to the in your proposal also. Okay, a new idea is claimed. You say that your come up the idea is claimed. It's a new idea. When you write in your proposal, it's a new idea. How new is that? Okay, is it sufficient to produce a good outcome or not? You need to state in that also. Okay, state in your mention in your proposal. Okay, and seem unaware of later, as I mentioned, remember to find the grant that related to your research, right? So the proposed research has been done. Some of the applicants, they feel that, okay, last few years, team A already done this. Why they need to do this again? So you repeat people's work. So this one, of course, the assessor will reject your application also. So how to get the reviewer attention? I mentioned all here already. So in the summary, grab the reviewer attention earlier to get their excited and interested. Okay, remember, most important, you have to write what is your original novelty, significant of your relevant research scope area. Okay, of course, what the team member is important. What is your field expertise? What's your team member expertise also? Okay, what is their gap, your gap research here, so that you can contribute to the society your proposal is contribute to the society. Right? And of course, very important that because since this is proposal also, right? So of course they will see your overall proposal objective, your key outcome, your benefit, expected outcome, right? Your methodology, is it clear or not? Is it logical or not? Okay, to produce to propose in your proposal. Okay. Remember, the language also important. Don't too layman, but don't too scientific also. All right, especially for your summary. Because remember, your panel is not always in your field. All right, you are algae, for example, you are algae expertise, but I'm not. One of the panel may not. And how to grab their attention. So you have to explain what is algae, okay, 1 or 2 sentences about that, okay? So that, as a third party, they also, okay, algae can have a benefit like that, can treat this cancer patient, or what is the component inside of the algae extract, or maybe they have this extract A, which is have the gene that you can combine with another gene, become a gene silencing or whatever, okay, to attract the scientist to treat the patient also. Okay, this is one of the tips, some of the tips to get the reviewer attention or the panel attention. So of course, your structure is important. As I say, summary. Firstly, summary, problem statement. Okay, rationale. What is your research rationale? Okay, national or your regional priority address. Okay, what is your current development? Okay, novelty of your project. If let's say your project is very new, very novelty, what is that? You have to mention about that. Okay, so your objective is it realistic or not? Okay, your target group is who? Let's say for me, target group is patient. What patient? What kind of patient? Cancer patient. What kind of cancer patient? Lung cancer patient. Okay, you have to state clearly. All right. So to what and the different stakeholder. If let's say yours is including the stakeholder or industrial partner, then you need to write down for that also. Remember, you need to write a good writing, good proposal. Your writing must be very clear and concise. All right. Okay. So remember, this is very important for the grant application. So what is the quality of the project content methodology? Just now I mentioned you have to write down a summary, proper statement, introduction, after introduction, you have to write a literature review. So what you have to write in the literature review? In the literature review, you have to write down what is already done. This is important. You don't tell me that your things is never have a people in this world done before. This is impossible. Maybe A, B, C, D, A already got people done. Sure have the people already done. From there you have to, that's why you're saying that although have the people done A, B, C, but there's still a lot of things that have not, there's some of the problems that have not been solved. That's why I come up with the solution D. Okay, so what is the gap? The research, what have done, what have not done, what is the gap, and research gap of that. That's why you need to find out the research gap and state out what is the research gap. Okay, remember, no need to write down all the research gap, just write down a important research gap. Okay, so state why this one should be done. Okay, make sure your literature review is throughout, including, this is important, includes the recent citation. There's a lot of applicants always cite in the literature section, they always cite the papers that already done 20 years ago. Okay, 10 years ago, 15 years or 20 years, some of these even 30 years ago. I understand that some of the research or outcome maybe never got people done recently, but only done one or two research team, which is 20 years ago. You can cite them if like that, in the condition like that, but try to involve the recent citation also, especially if yours is involved in the technology, right, or innovation. So try to include within 5 to 5 years, latest 5 years. Some of the grant, they even stated out saying that please include recent citation which is not more than 10 years. Okay, so this is what they are, one of the criteria also. So what is the method to achieve the aim? So in your content, you need to write out here. What is your research question? So some of the grant, they also request the applicant to write out their research question, right? So you have to know all these things because later on, you have to write down here objective, what is my objective as research question, what is my hypothesis, right? So, and then your method, is it logical and clear or not, right? What is the method that you use? Including you are from science background, sure you know that what is the parameter you will use, right? Either qualitative or quantitative. Okay? So if your things is only qualitative, I can say a bit weak. Okay, try to involve quantitative analysis, right? Because as a scientist, only you can know, as a scientist, quantitative analysis or outcome can give more confident data to the audience and to the public. So stating potential risk also, if there is, okay, then you have to write down your risk. Is it any risk to conduct this research? Even they have to ask you, if yes, what is the category of the risk? High risk, middle risk, or low risk? There's a few category A, B, C. Okay, you have to state the potential risk. What is the activity, the research activity is you propose, is it suitable to deliver or not? You don't, as I say, you don't propose something is very high, very too ambitious, that your grant is not enough to cover, right? So what is the timetable? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? Don't drag like until 5 or 10 years. Then the funder won't have the interest to give the money for you. Why they want to give you the money is you can produce the out as a business or the funders, their aim is clear. I give you money, what's the expected outcome to give you back to show me, and how long? Okay, it's too long, they have lost the interest already. Okay, so this is important. Okay, sorry. So ethical aspect, this is very important also when you write a proposal, grant proposal, because you are from life science background. So even though you're from engineering, you also, some of them also involve the life samples. If let's say your life sample is involving the in vitro or ex vivo or in vivo, all right, so this is important. So in vitro that you're using the plant or the samples, okay, tissue from the patient, you need to apply the ethics also. In vivo, you transplant your material into the animal model, so you need to apply ethics also. So in your proposal, you need to write down, if let's say your proposal involve animal model or patient or cells, okay, then you need to apply the ethics application. Okay, you need to apply the ethics. Sorry, you need to apply the ethics. You have to state over there. Okay, so consent form. If your research is involve the patient or human, of course you need to come up with the consent form and patient information sheet. Right. So quality of the partnership. Okay, come to the quality of the section of the quality of partnership. Okay, firstly, as I explained just now, in your proposal you need to explain the team member requirement. What is their details? I will show you later in my proposal, which is successful obtained last 2 years. All right. So it is important also, which is relevant, their track record. Okay, relevant quantification and expertise. Okay, each of the partnership, is it suitable or not, adequate or not? Let's say just now I say, if let's say you're doing the marine biology, suddenly you involve the orthopedic surgeon. Why like that? Okay. So any added value, if let's say you add if you say I want to involve this orthopedic surgeon. Why? Any added value, right? So a fair involvement of the all partner. Okay, remember team member also, when you apply the proposal, the assessor also see your contribution of each partner. Some of the grant, they even ask you, team member A, member A, how many percentage they contribute? Member B, how many percent of the member B to contribute also? All right, what is their role if I give you this money to do your research? Member A, what is their role? You have to state. You have to write down what is their role. All right. Okay. So this is the quality and the requirement of the partnership. Don't simplify the partner for your to write out for your proposal. Okay. So budget. Okay. One of the more important also, they see your budget and the cost effectiveness. All right. So efficient and effective used for the reasonable. Okay. Efficient and effective of the cost effectiveness of the budget. Remember, include the budget year by year. Okay, clear to saying that, oh, this year I want to use 20,000. Next year I want to use 50,000. Okay, why? Okay, you have to state that there. Okay, because this year I just use this equipment or consumable only. Next year is more. Because come out more data already, you need the more samples or more equipment to apply on your experiment, right? Okay, the equipment, is it available in your institute or not? If you're not, then you have to buy the equipment, right? So if you want the equipment, is it the equipment have to involve in your proposal or not? Is it expensive? Okay, you have to consider all these criteria. Okay, so the work program is consistent with the budget or not? If let's say budget is very important, you remember you ask the money from the funder, so they always want to see the budget also, right? So are resources overestimate or underestimate? As I said, don't give too high. Let's say the maximum is only 500,000 recommendation. You go and request 1 million. Of course, they won't approve yours. Okay. But of course, if they give the opportunity to give you the until 500,000, okay, the grant, then you go and request only 50,000. What for? Okay. So that's what I meant, overestimate and underestimate. Okay. So staff cost very distribute and also the additional funding. So if you request the additional funding, you have to state also, you have to make it clear. Okay, why? Even some of the grant, they will ask you, do you have the grant or we will apply the grant later? Why? Okay, you have to state it out. Okay, so timing. Timing is important, I say. Make it the time of your research logically, okay, and reasonable. Okay, so this is a checklist that I mentioned just now. I will not go through. I just go through briefly, as I mentioned already. Okay, after you write out all the proposal, okay, you have to have a write down in a checklist. Have a checklist. It's always a good practice that you have a checklist before you submit the proposal. Okay, have a checklist that, okay, as I already follow this instruction, yes, then you write a tick. Okay, tick it. What is the deadline? Make sure it's not passed through the deadline. Okay, if you miss the deadline, you have to wait for the next year already, next cycle, right? So your team member track record, they always ask you, especially for the big grant, they will always ask you the track record or the CV of each member. Remember to submit, to request all the team member CV, resume, yeah, and the CV. Okay. Even some of them, they want to show the publication. So a clear title, your proposal content, is it include what, where, when, how, who, okay? So order and the structure of your proposal, your objective, is it clear, good? Is it in the within the scope? Okay, and also of course you need to get all the explanation, good explanation in your proposal. Most important, as I say, budget. Okay, budget also important, and your time frame. Okay, all this done, done. To do all the checklist, you can submit already. Okay, this is ready. You are ready to submit your proposal. Okay, so in summary, what you don't do, don't write a paper. As I mentioned, emphasized many times earlier time, this is a proposal. What is meant by proposal? Proposal, you need to details, but also in concise, impact, okay, and not too long. Reviewer or the panel won't have so much time for your only one proposal. Okay, so don't write a paper. It's just a write a paper. Okay, don't write a proposal. So show is the original. Don't show is the original what is not. If it is not, then you just say honestly not. Why? State how. Explain. Okay, as I said, don't too ambitious. Don't too overconfident that you can do it, while also people in this world cannot do it. You don't say like that. You don't say all these statements in your proposal. They're too confident. Then the panels won't like it. The statement like that. Okay. Don't overestimate the budget. Okay. Don't copy and paste the test. Okay. Remember, don't copy and paste. You are not copycat. Okay. Don't leave any section blank. Every has form, you have to fill it. Don't leave it blank. If you leave it blank, what do you mean? You are not interested to fill in or what? Okay, so don't act as a donor. You are not the people to provide the fund. You are the one to request the money. Okay, and most important, don't submit 2 or more application. You have to check about this, because some of the grant they restated only can allow 1 people 1 proposal, 1 application. Then you cannot submit 2 or more. If they found that, they will kick you out. Okay, they will approve, they will reject your proposal directly. Okay, so some advice from me, please, if you want to request the money for you, your face, I always say to my team member, your face must be thicker. Okay, so don't feel shame or embarrassed that, okay, I want to ask the money. No, I don't want to become a beggar. Don't think like that. You have to think not only yourself, your team member, your team, your institute, your society. Okay, so never ask for the money, never be offer. First time not successful, never mind. Try again. What do you think? All the professor here in your institute, or even myself, I've tried already so many times. Some of them I can say is even not even go through the first stage, first round. They already get the reject. Okay, so never mind. Just try. In this world, as I say, so many grants here. Try grant A, grant B, grant C, grant D. Okay, and then if let's say grant A, you wish to get, this cycle you didn't get, never mind. Next year, next 2 years, next 3 years, try again. Okay, if let's say I don't want to try, I never have to get the money to do my work, right? The research. Okay, remember, learn the feedback regarding the rejected proposal. Some of the proposal, yes, they come up with some of the good comment. Don't worry, you can use this comment and then improve in your proposal, and then amend your proposal, improve your proposal content, submit to the grant B if you cannot get grant A, or you submit in the next cycle of grant A. Okay, most important, this is more like mentally advice, be positive, right? Be positive. So you have to remember this thing. No grant, there's no funding, there's no research. No research, how you come up with the outcome. So no outcome, no publication, how do you do your KPI, right? So you have to increase your your improvement in your career also. All right. So as I say, please, especially in this very hard time now, apply grant for your research before you regret. Don't say I feel shy, cannot lah, I cannot. Okay, just apply it. Just go for it. Okay, apply, try again. If not, then you will regret one day. Believe me. Okay, so that's what I want to say for today's lecture. Good luck with your grant application. Don't feel shame. Just go for it. Try many times. Okay, if let's say if one, why not? How we know that one day you'll really get the research grant? Well, which is very high money budget, or then is your effort. Put some effort. If you want to get something, put effort on that. Uh-huh. So if let's say you get a grant, congratulations, you will feel like very happy. All the hard time, yeah, every day, every night you write a proposal, that's gone. Okay, you already like come back already with the money. Okay, so by then I acknowledge before I end my lecture today. So I would like to acknowledge my team, Teacher Engineering Group, National University of Malaysia, and also very thank you to Dr. Makaya Nankopa, which is always still with me all the while for this lecture, and Dr. Jayasri to introduce me to Dr. Maya Kanan, and also most important, thank you Department of Marine Biotechnology, Ahmed, India, to give me the opportunity to deliver my lecture to you all. Thank you, terima kasih for Malaysia and Nandri. Okay, thank you. This is my email address with the official and my personal account. You can email to me or even you can text me. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam.
Terima kasih. Yeah. Okay. So that's all from my side. Any question? Oh yeah. Sorry. Is it allowed me to have some terima kasih. So, is it? Can I give like another 10 minutes to show you some of my proposal already successful? At least you know what is that. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, let me to share this. Okay.
Very wonderful presentation, ma'am.
Thank you.
Very informative.
I hope you all can learn something.
Okay.
Let me have this. Sorry. Okay, can you see this? Okay, can you see? Okay, good. Okay, so this is one of the example that we have successfully obtained for one of the grant. Okay, so this grant we obtain how many for 3 years is 190 something, 196 if not mistaken, Ringgit Malaysia we obtain for 3 years project. So here is one of the grant that in Malaysia, which is from our ministry, FRGS. And I just want to show you in generally. Okay, so here usually people will ask you, what is your research, your title, okay, your keyword, all right? So some of the grant, they will ask you the keyword, give like not more than 6 keyword, which is related to your project, okay? Remember your proposed research project is very important. So you have to write down concisely and clear, all right? So of course, they will ask you the project leader. So I hide some of the personal details of the PI. Okay, so this is the PI, the the principal investigator. Okay, so or we call project leader. All right. So some of the grant generally they will ask you what's your research domain, what is your sub research domain also. Okay, what is your research cluster? Either health, engineering, linguistic or whatever. Okay, so what is your priority area? Okay. Okay, location. Sometimes they will ask you what is your location of the area. Okay, duration, the research, right? So what? This is what I meant. What is your team member? Okay. Okay. Some of the research grant, okay, they can allow you to involve many members. But some of the research grant, no, they only can allow you to involve maximum 5 members, which is I applied last year also. Okay, so try to involve some of the relevant people. Let's see, they will ask you who is your team member, from which faculty, from which university, what is their position, what is their area of expertise, because they want to see is it relevant to your research area or not, right? So from here, they also know that their CV, okay, their research background is a good research record or not, all right? So, okay, this is the project leaders, your publication, any things that you already publish, some of the project that you're conducting now. Okay. So this is what I mentioned, summary. Most of the research grant now, they won't go straight forward to literature review. They will ask your summary first, which is have a word limits. Okay. Your summary, remember to include one sentence of purpose statement, objective, research, very brief research methodology, what is the expected outcome, and the implication. All right. So then we'll come to the more details, research background, problem statement, your hypothesis, your research question, your literature review. Okay, your literature review. All right. And then, okay, your references. All right. And your objective. Okay, objective, methodology. What is your methods? No need too details, but don't too simple also. Okay, because you need to give the confidence to, all right? So you can write down what is the come out. Start with the subsection first. Subtitle. Okay, explain in brief. All right. Okay. Okay. And then since you are from life science, right? So usually people will last step of the last step of the methodology involves statistic analysis. How you come out with the analysis? What kind of the statistic analysis you want to use? And sample size. Okay, involved in the sample size, how to calculate your sample size. All right. And then of course the flow chart, involved in the flow chart. Your flow chart be simple like this. Only 2 methods. Okay, just a simple flow chart like this. Okay, and then tell people what is replicate, biology replicate, and then your technical replicate also. All right, and then what is your research activity from start until when you will do this activity? Second activity, when to okay, is it reasonable or not? All right, okay, your milestone and dates. Okay, see, people will ask you how many percentage you need to contribute. I mean, this one, uh, experiment A, contribute how many percent? Experiment B, how many percent? Okay, so this is the flow chart and also the time frame. Okay. Again, some of the grant, they will ask you the expected result, expected outcome. What is your novelty? Okay. What is including your research publication? If I give you the money, how many publication, how many article that you can produce? Then how confident how confident that which publication, which journal that you can submit. Okay. And what is the potential application? Okay. Maybe your research can be commercialized. You can say out also. What is the impact to the society, economic, nation, right? So this is they will ask you the access of the equipment and material, right? This come up with the budget. Just like I mentioned, do it year by year, all right? Don't conclude in 3 years. Let's say yours is 3 years, do 1 year by 1 year, okay? So, and then you total up it, okay? Okay, right. this is one of the example. This is for in vitro work. All right. If let's say yours is another one, I want to show you another one which is less simple, which is a internal grant. Let's say, for example, in your university yourself or institute have a small grant, you can do it also, but they will be like this. Okay, so they will ask a very simple question. Okay, but more or less like just now, who are the project leader, what is their background, and then who is the core researcher, like this. They only limit to 3 core researcher team member. All right. Okay, so is it this one is a new project or not? Okay, so and then here they will ask you to attach separately what is your proposal, including all this title, your research methodology, objective, or all the things that I mentioned just now, expected outcome. Okay, so potential application, number of PhD of master, because this one, this publication, this grant, they how to say, they will project number. So they will ask how many number of PhD or master by research you can produce. Okay. So what is the expected research impact? Okay, so again, more similar. What is the related project you have to conduct it? Okay, what is the budget estimate? Okay, this one is a small budget. It's different just with this now because this is a university grant. So their budget is maximum is 60,000. So you have to again. Okay. Okay, just now I have mentioned that better to put it in the year by year. All right, but again depends on the grant they apply. But this small grant they only want the lump one total. They do 1 year by year. Okay. Okay, this is the just now I've mentioned that they will request the proposal separately. So here you have to write down the title, the proposal, research question. Okay, all this research review. Okay, methodology. Okay. Even you can put some of the figures also. Okay. Analysis, sample size calculation. Okay, flow chart. Attach the flow chart also the research activity. Okay, your Gantt chart. Okay, and then your milestone. And also your expected outcome. Okay, references. Okay, all this is CV. Okay, there's I just want to show you there's a difference between the external grant and also internal grant, which is small grant between differences between the small grant and the big grant. So that's all I want to show you. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. So any question? Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So many questions.
Ma'am, there is one question from Kannan. Can you explain about joint collaboration project between India and Malaysia?
Sorry, can I explain the joint? Sorry, again?
Joint collaboration project between India and Malaysia.
Yes, we have some. So for example, I'm not sure what is your research scope, but even for just now, the grant that I showed you just now, we involve some of the for collaboration for India, from other country also, right? So some of the I can just now if you notice that some of them is from India, some of the collaborator member. So of course you cannot some of the grant you cannot become a project leader when you apply, but you can join as a core researcher, right? So let's say your background is about marine biology. I'm not expert in your background. If let's say yours is algae, all right. So algae is your expertise, but for me, I'm not expertise, but I want to combine the clinical research and your research, which is from more for the nature, plant or whatever, okay, to treat my patient, to treat some of the diseases. So your expertise on that. But in my area, in my faculty, I don't have the experts on this area. So we can join together. All right. So from that, with your expertise, I can justify in my proposal why I need you. Okay? That's all. Is it I'm answering your question? For example, even like the just now the FRGS or PRGS, and even like some of the most ministry, our Malaysian ministry, Ministry Health or Ministry of Education grant, we also involve the collaborator from India.
Thank you, ma'am. There is another question from Lakshmi Sundar. Does the research should be industry relevant to attract a good sum of fund?
Okay. As I mentioned just now, it is not major criteria, but it is a secondary criteria, right? Again, I have to emphasize it depends on the grant that you applied. If let's say the grant that apply early of this year, I apply one grant is related to the prototype. So, but that one is expected. The expected outcome is, you want to pattern your application, pattern your research outcome, your material, and then you need to commercialize it. Of course, you need to involve with the industrial partner. It is very important. And your industrial partner, is it good enough to help you to produce this material or not? You have to involve in your proposal. Right? But if let's say it's a small grant that you apply, as I mentioned just now, I show you a small grant that no need. Okay, so if they no need to commercialize, but they more emphasize on the number of students or the publication, then you can ignore this criteria. But if you can involve, why not? Okay, if not, then it's okay, it's fine, right?
Next question is from Kannan. He's asking, can you touch upon student exchange program?
Talk about the program, a student program exchange.
Student,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mean that I can involve on that or what? Sorry, talk about that.
You can talk about it.
Yes.
Student exchange program.
Student. Yeah. Sure. Yes. Yes. Well, always welcome because University Malaya is a research University Malaya. Some of we are from the Faculty of Medicine. So even though other faculty, we have a faculty of biotechnology, faculty of science, biotechnology unit. Even then, we have a marine biotechnology unit also. So you can search from there. So you can contact the person in charge. We always have the program, a student exchange program that we also accept the students or the candidate if they are for even the fellowship. They come to attach for a few months or even 6 months or even 1 year. Then we collaborate. They do their research here, and then we come up with the papers or publication. Yeah, and then even we give the opportunity for the student to apply grant because some of the there is grant only.
Another question: any age bar is there for applying grants?
Yes. So that's why I said you have to seek the information background of the each grant that you apply. Some of the grant only a limit to the to the young scientists, only not more than 40 years old. Then one of the my colleagues, the grants actually stated that it's no more than 35 years old, but when she applied that time is 36 years old. All right. So even for that few months elder than the age limit, they also will not consider. So you have to check the criteria requirement of the grant. So some of the big grant, this usually is for the small grant, but some of the big grant, the huge grant that I mentioned, like consider like more than 500,000 ringgit Malaysia or 1 million or whatever, the huge grant, they usually won't limit the age because they know that you need to include the professor level, right? Some of the team member to build up a very good team, right, to apply the grant. So you have to, for that, you have to search the information or background of the grant.
That's it from the question. Any other questions from participants?
If not, I just now I already mentioned, show you my email address and my phone number. You are welcome always like email to me if you have any doubt or the question.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful lecture.
Thank you.
The lecturer has given us a lot of information. Thank you.
I hope you all can learn about something from my lecture.
We'll move forward. Now I would like to invite Dr. Muthalan sir, Controller of Examination, to deliver the valedictory address. I welcome you, sir.
Good afternoon to all. Most respected Professor K. Altaf sir, and my dear friend Dr. Sindhilathan, Head of the Department Marine Biotechnology, and a respected Professor Dr. Now, and faculty members, Organizing Secretary Dr. Mayakanan Selvakumar, and participants, student friends. Good afternoon to all. I am really happy that Professor Nam Terima Kashi, that Nandri.
Nandri.
Nandri. Actually, after listening your lecture, I come back to my school days. You made a presentation, LKG to PhD level, the step by step that you are made it very clear. Actually, that most of the student participants and research scholars, your lecture made a really mind-blowing, because each other, actually I'm a very good, you are a very good teacher. I gone back to my school days. Yeah, really you made a wonderful presentation, ma'am. You cleared all the aspects of research grant also. Not only that, you are sharing your personal experience and your research format for your university also. It's a really good thing. Sharing of research aspect and granting, this type of activity will helpful our students' minds. Actually, really thankful. On behalf of university, I'm personally thanking you, and also appreciation go to the department for organizing this type of events. And I coming to the topic. Challenges and ethics. Not only the ethics, not only required for the research, and also need for all the human beings. For my experience, students joined with me for PhD. One student is very sincere and he come for lab regularly. He is doing excellent research and daily he is reporting me. Another, as usual, the lab with some irregularity is there. He will attend university for 2 days, 3 days back, and like that he will come. What happened? No, after 1 year, that regular come published one paper in small journal. That that not Scopus and all. He published it in local regional journal. Publications are I published one paper. The one guy come for smart, that 2 days per week or 3 days per week. He published the paper in international with the high impact paper. What thinks that the doing work is not at all important. That most of the students are doing work, but how to publish the paper, which journal we have to choose, what are the challenges to be considered, what are the ethics to be followed, that is more important. And as madam told, how we can get the grant from the funding agency for our future project, that is also more important. That's why the Department of Marine Biotechnology organized in well manner with two eminent scientists. I know about my senior Dr. Uday Prakash. I listened his lecture also through YouTube, and I have the fortunate to attend your lecture also. Yes, two lectures are very mind-blowing. I appreciate to the speakers and also the department for well organized. Your guys are keep rocking. I heartfelt congratulations to the department and great appreciation. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request now I request Dr. Selva Kumar sir, organizing secretary, to propose vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Swarna. It's a great honor. Really, it's an excellent presentation. It's a great honor for me to present the vote of thanks for this day. As usual, first of all, I have to thank our Chancellor, Ravichandran sir, for his constant support, and the Pro Chancellor, Dr. Rajesh sir. And I have to thank our Vice Chancellor, Colonel Dr. G. Trivasagam sir, for his giving permission to conduct such an event. I have to thank our Pro Vice Chancellor, Sir Manoharan sir, and also I have to thank Dr. Jayaprakash Vail sir. With his guidance only, we are all doing this, whatever the workshop or the webinar or the conference. And I have to thank our COE sir also, Muthalan sir, for his constant support for the department. So this workshop started with a welcome speech by Dr. Sandhanathan sir, our department HOD, and also followed by the introduction of the speaker by Dr. Mayakandan sir, assistant professor of the department. So I have to thank our today's speaker, Dr. Namyu Hin,
Thank you.
postdoctoral research fellow, cum lecturer, tissue engineering group, Department of Orthopedic Surgery, Faculty of Medicine, University of Malaya. So, ma'am presented his title with Riddles in Writing and Winning of the Grant. It's a very important title. So, how to get the grant from various funding agencies. So, madam started with what is proposal and how a scientific proposal has to be prepared, and how to choose a suitable research grant. And also, ma'am pointed out certain things like a research grant, goals of the funding agencies or the bodies and the research grant program. We have to look into that and how it is important. We have to have the background of the funding agencies. So the purpose of a grant proposal, that is also very important. We have to get the knowledge of what is the purpose of our proposal, and grab the current funding opportunities, and the teamwork in the preparation of the proposal, research funding process, what should be included in the proposal, and the expected outcome of the project proposal, and the very important is the budget required. That is a budget required for the 3 years or the how many years it is going to pursue the project. So it is very important that you have to prepare the budget in a very good manner, and the research perspectives of the funding bodies, and the reviewers' attention, and to seek the information of the grant application, and the new ideas and technology that has been imposed in the proposal. It is very important nowadays, and the approaches of the proposal and the integrated approaches, that is very important. See, it is not now the people are looking into that, the integrated approach for each and every proposal, and the vital importance is the summary of the proposal and the major criterias and the secondary criterias, and the industrial partners. Suppose the project involves the product product development, so definitely it needs a industrial partnerships, and all the relevance structure of the proposal, quality of the project content, ethical aspects. This is now, suppose the investigator, the principal investigator or the co-investigators, they are working on the any animal oriented. So the ethical aspects is very important. So even the instruments to suppose the instrument is not available, that has to be put in the proposal. And so, lastly, ma'am mentioned about the research grant proposal checklist and do's and don'ts in writing the project proposal. These are all very important aspects. Thank you, madam, for the wonderful presentation. You have given the excellent ideas how we can pursue with this project proposal and how that can be executed in an excellent manner. Thank you, madam, for that. I have to thank my fellow colleagues for organizing such event. Lastly, I have to thank all the participants for their active participation in the workshop. Thank you all. Thank you. Over to Sarna.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
I kindly request the participants to fill the feedback form. The link is in the comment box. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a wonderful
Thank you.
lecture. Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Thank you and stay safe. Take care.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Congratulations, Madam sir. Successfully third.
Yes, Mike and sir, well done. It's a good program. Thank you. Thank you all.
Congrats, sir. Congrats, sir.
Okay, sir. Meet you in the afternoon meeting. The document is getting prepared, sir. It is in the final stage now.
Okay, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, just now he has sent a request one. So I'm just compiling those things.
Okay.
Okay.